They said by your 30s you'd have it all figured out. The career, the relationship, the house, the plan. But what they don't tell you is that sometimes the biggest growth comes from letting go of the timeline you thought your life would follow. The heaviest things we carry aren't in our bags or on our shoulders. They're the expectations we've internalized, the shoulds we've collected, the dreams we're afraid to outgrow. Research shows that 67% of people in their 30s report feeling stuck, not because they can't move forward, but because they're afraid to let go of who they thought they'd be by now. Neuroscience tells us something fascinating. When we hold on to the outdated expectations, our brains create actual neural pathways of resistance. Like well-worn tracks in the snow, these patterns become deeper with each worried thought, each moment of self-doubt. But here's the beautiful thing about our neuroplasticity. We can create new paths. Every time we choose self-compassion over self-judgment, we're rewiring our brains for resilience. Tonight at the Light Festival, as we write down what we want to let go of, or what we desire to allow more space for, we're not just releasing lanterns into the sky. We're releasing the pressure to have it all figured out, the timeline that never fit, the goals that belong to someone else's story. Your brain can't tell the difference between holding on to a physical object and holding on to an emotion. Both create the same patterns of tension, the same neural pathways of resistance. But the real magic? Releasing old expectations creates space for authentic desires to emerge, the ones we've been too busy to hear. Think about a tree in autumn. It doesn't question whether it should hold on to its leaves. It knows that letting go is part of growth, part of making space for new life to emerge. Nature never rushes, yet everything gets done. The seasons change at their own pace, each bringing in its own kind of beauty.
And we're about to light our intentions and throw them into the sky.
So let's release the story that you should be there by now. Let go of the timeline that never served you. Your path doesn't need to look like anyone else's, because sometimes the most beautiful chapters of our story begin when we finally give ourselves permission to write them our own way. This year was like a river, sometimes rushing, sometimes still. It carried away old versions of ourselves and brought new possibilities to shore, like every year. But like these ripples in the water, our most meaningful moments create circles that expand far beyond ourselves. As we light these lanterns, we're not just releasing paper and flame into the night sky. We're letting go of our hurries, our worries, the weight we've been carrying. Sometimes a simple act of slowing down, being present, can shift everything. Because sometimes the bravest thing we can do is let go of the life we planned and open our hearts to the life that's waiting for us. And in that opening, in that space between what was and what could be, we find ourselves, not lost, but finally and beautifully free. Tonight, science and ceremony remind us of the same truth. Letting go isn't about loss. It's about creating space in our minds, in our bodies, in our lives. These lanterns carry away more than just our past. They illuminate the path to our future. And sometimes the most profound transformations happen in the space between holding on and letting go. Because the truth is, there is no behind schedule in a story that's uniquely yours. There is only your rhythm, your timing, your way. And that is exactly as it should be.